I'm Steve Dickhouse, and this is Haus Talk, a podcast where we unpack what it's really like to live a life above average. Real people, real stories, real habits, real growth. See, every high performer has a story that's generally built upon faith, discipline, or courage. The courage to keep going even after life kicks you hard. If you're here, welcome.
Welcome back to Haus Talk. I'm your host, Steve Dickhouse, where I get the opportunity to sit across the microphone from other high performers, unpack their real life stories, and bring that back to you, the viewers, not only to motivate, but hopefully inspire. And today, I've got one of my brothers with me. I've got a man that I was a roommate with in college. I met him in 2008. I had the opportunity to put my hand in the dirt side by side next to him and just be a bully out on the gridiron football field on Saturdays at Washburn University. And we were also blessed enough to actually stand next to each other when we said our vows to our wife, whenever he married Lindsay and I married Ember. We were both groomsmen in each other's wedding. He's a girl dad of 4. I'm a girl dad of 3, as you guys know. And my man Brian Folkerts defines grit. This guy is a guy who went undrafted from a Division II school, Washburn University, where we played side by side together, and made his way out to New Orleans Saints as a offensive lineman who came from Washburn University as a left tackle, transitioning not only from Division II to the NFL, but transitioning from a left tackle to a center position. His first year out in the New Orleans Saints and making that leap of the skill level, but then also the position change. Unfortunately, that season wound up ending a little bit sooner than we would have liked. He took the steps from there to continue to build into a career that would establish for 10 years in professional sports, 6 years, but getting his way back into the NFL because he could have stopped right there, played a little arena football, got the call, got to come back into the NFL where he went to Carolina to play for the Panthers and really made a name and his legacy permanent and playing in the NFL for 6 seasons in total. You want to talk about grit, you want to talk why we have this podcast, and you want to talk about Haus Talk. This guy's got the definition of all of it. And folk, I'm excited to unpeel your story. Not only have you competed on the highest level in athletics, but now you're also coaching and serving and giving back on the highest level. Brian Folkerts comes to us today as the head offensive line coach for the Toledo University, the University of Toledo, the University of Toledo. Yeah. And just accepted a job out there maybe in the last couple weeks or so. And man, I'm pumped to be sharing the microphone with you today, brother.
Yeah, glad to be here, man. Love what you guys are doing here with Haus Talk, man. I love it. Love the story and inspiring people, and really blessed to be able to share my story with you all today.
Let's go. So before we dive into some of the football talk, like one of the things I like to do right off the bat, it's like a gut punch question. And I just want the viewers to kind of know what it is that they're going to get into, right? So some of you guys that might be watching, you guys know me and Folkerts. We used to play a game. It's called Would You Rather. And and I'll tell you a little bit about this Would You Rather. We would ask each other questions with some of the other guys, and we would say, would you rather do this or would you rather do this? And both of these would you rathers were pretty gruesome. So like you won't win if you choose one or the other, but we ultimately made you choose one, and then you got scrutinized for whichever one that you chose, and you just got drilled like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do da 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 da. Never a dull moment with you as a roommate, by the way. So
Yeah, for sure,
I'm going to start off with a would you rather. And
Ooh,
yeah,
the tables are turned.
Yeah,
Huh?
let's go. So the would you rather is going to be, I'm going to give you 3 headlines, 3 story headlines. These are story headlines that you and I have together, and you have to pick which one you would rather me tell. Okay?
Okay.
So you'll know hopefully which ones are which, right? So the first headline that I have is the spring ball brawl. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, know it. The second one that I have is, I think this band, I always forget it, Hawthorne Heights Brawl. So we got Spring Ball Brawl. We got Hawthorne Heights Brawl. And this one is more recent. This is the no contact cow tip.
Oh man, let's go. Dude, I love the Hawthorne Heights reference.
Oh
dude.
my gosh.
We can unpack that another time. Let's go Spring Ball Brawl. But I do love the Hawthorne Heights. Steve Dickhouse secretly recording me going into some emo screamo headbanger music and
Ohio's for lovers, baby. Bring the talents back to Toledo.
Let's go Spring Ball Brawl.
Okay, Spring Ball Brawl. Let me paint the picture of Spring Ball for those of you guys that don't know. Spring Ball sucks. Spring Ball is 6 a.m. The field still got frost on it, and you play your own team for 3-4 weeks straight in a row. You practice against your own team for 3-4 weeks in a row in the off season when it's cold, it's early. Only to then scrimmage your own team again at the end, right? So it's a little irritating. People get a little agitated, and from time to time there's some scuffles that break out, right? So I remember we were doing a run period, 9-on-9, and there was a play where you had made your way up to the second level to block a linebacker named Willie Williams. We love you, Willie. We do, man. Good dude. Block old Willie, and Willie was maybe getting picked on just a little bit. You're a little bit bigger than he was. Soaking wet, a couple 100 pounds. You might have had 3 bills at the time on you.
Give him a little extra here.
Give him a little. Listen, we were taught to coach through the whistle.
Oh yeah,
through the whistle. That's
the whistle, man.
Yeah,
finish with a shove.
Yeah. So Willie wasn't happy with it because it happened for the 10th time in a row. Brian turns around, starts walking back towards the huddle. And Willie just chases him and smacks him in the back of the head. And then Folkerts turns back around, and we had a special teams GA coach maybe step in and then put you in your place. And I think you said, I'm about to fire your ass or something like that. I don't know if you were more mad at the special teams coach or if you were more mad at Willie at that point. But anyway, the coach drove you back, and then I had to get you and before everything went chaotic. So we made our way back to the huddle, and Brian's playing left tackle. I'm playing left guard. And the next play that got called was 22 power. 22 powers to the right where I pull, and guess who I pull to? Good old Willie.
Old Willie.
We both know the assignment, and you look over to me and you go, hold him up. I was like, oh, shit, this is going to be good. But I had your back, man. That's how we had to do it. White versus blue, it is what it is. And we had to have that tempo and tone because we were the freaking alphas of the team. And if we didn't have it with those guys, we wouldn't have it as a team, right?
No
we
doubt.
really wouldn't.
No doubt.
And we set the tone on that. I pull over, next play gets snapped. I pull over. I gave Willie such a good pop just on my own. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see you and I feel you just coming. And I see Willie's feet go up in the air and you just topple. Boom!
Just some missile.
Cleared them. Everybody just clears. We have a brawl for 5 minutes straight. Offense versus defense. The whole team's going in. We had to cancel the rest of the period. It was an absolute show, dude.
Dude, I had a hot of a head as they come in college, man. And nobody gets away with a shove in the back after getting dominated, and the freaking special teams guy getting up in my face, dude. I'm sitting there clenching my fists. I'm like, I can't hit a fucking coach, but I'll tell you what, on the next play, I can deal with that fucking guy that hit me in the back, dude. I can deal with his ass. Like, Steve, you got him? Just hold him up for me.
Oh, my gosh. And it just ignited a brawl in practice. And everybody was already ready to brawl, and then it was, man. But we left it on the field. We came in the locker room. We would always dab up those guys and be good with those guys afterwards. Yep. And we had a really good team, man. It's one of my best Folkerts memories. I wrote down 3. I had so much more, but I wrote down 3 that I felt like would be okay with sharing, know.
And we were really good about leaving it on the field too, man. And that's one thing I take coaching my players nowadays. I tell them, man, I'm looking for high character assholes, man. I want guys that are good off the field. They'll help the old lady cross the street, all that stuff, good students. But then when they step across the white line, they're just freaking headhunters looking to freaking decleat and finish with an attitude and all that type of stuff, man. So that's one of my little catchphrases I always use, man. High character assholes.
Dude, it is offensive line, man. I want to talk about your story and this grind all the way through D2. And I think if we start going through, like, I don't know, I think we'll pull out some really cool characteristics of what it takes to be an offensive lineman and then what it takes to be a successful offensive lineman. And obviously, you know, you with your pedigree and everything that you've done. And I mean, we had an opportunity not only to compete with each other on Saturdays, but we also competed against each other the entire offseason in the weight room. And bro, that's one of my like fondest memories, is just throwing around barbells and plates and just beating and on a Saturday breakfast club weights and just getting after it, man, and just like owning that space. You know what I mean? And
yeah, no doubt, dude.
I
was gonna say, like, that's like, I credit a lot of my success to that competitiveness we had, that edge we always had about each other. I mean, always trying to one up and slap the extra 5-pound plate on the bench and before I hit my set, or you hit 2 extra reps. I mean, that level of competition, dude, it's no surprise. Like, that was our culture back then.
Yeah.
Highly competitive, highly alpha.
Yeah.
No surprise, like 4 or 5 guys made it to the NFL in a 5-year period. Dozens of All-Americans. I mean, it was just a lot of guys getting after it, and like winning breeds winning, man. It's just you're just freaking steamrolling at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember. I'm gonna start the origin story for you back spring ball. I can remember spring ball when we were seniors in high school. We came to the spring game, and I remember meeting you for the first time. How much do you think you weighed? Like 230, 40?
Yeah, I was 240 soaking wet, man.
I was like, this dude's never going to see the field. I was like, what? Did you get tight end? Like, and you were just like, you hadn't grown into like your freaking bone body.
I know, man.
You haven't grown into it.
I was a puppy, man. I had the big paws, big old head.
Yeah.
Freaking looking like a rail out there.
Yeah.
Had to grow into it, man. I was 240 pounds, man. None of the Division I schools wanted to touch me. But I was an asshole on the field, man, and I played violent and just had a physical style of football. I just didn't have the body to do it, to check off the freaking credentials to go D1.
And at our position, that's your statistic. That's your rushing yards, your sacks, your passing yards, right? Like that's your 40 time damn near is height and weight, especially in high school, because they believe they can, if you've got that, they can, morph you into whatever it is. And that's why you see a lot of guys like you and I making it, who are athletic, just bruisers, making it, to the D2 level and having some success, because we might not have been that ideal height and weight. And our freshman year, I remember going to camp and they were talking about me or you not redshirting. We kind of started off with the competition, dude. And, rightfully so, you earned it and won it, but I also tore my ACL, right? Yeah. So I was kind of pumped because I wanted a red shirt, but like...
Freaking Zach Pitts, man.
Dude, fumbled that ball. Come on.
A name you try to forget, no doubt, man. Dude, we competed the whole time, man. I mean, it was literally from the jump. I mean, they had 2 really good old linemen. And it turns out they were right. And I was like, fuck, we both became All-Americans.
Yeah.
We both had looks at Sundays.
Yeah.
And, you had that knee injury and ACL freshman year, and that led me into eventually winning the starting role at tackle. And,
true freshman.
I know it, dude.
Let's go, man. One thing that always impressed me was, you're always really smart with the playbook. But, dude, your gains in the off season, man. I remember being stronger than you at one point, and like that did not last. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just the ability to continue to have the stamina throughout, a 10-year career even afterwards too, is just freaking awesome. So, play at Washburn, man. We had fun your senior year.
Oh, no doubt.
We had fun your senior year. We almost we were the only team that beat the national championship. Pitt State We were the only team that beat them that year. I mean, I'll park here for a second. Let's unpack this. So we're going into my junior year, senior year. We had a stacked team. We had 2 guys go to the NFL the year before, and Mike Wilhoit and Joe Hastings.
Yep.
And then, 2 years before that, Trey Lewis. 2 years before that, Kerry Williams. Right? So we had a good little stint. We had the runner-up to the D2 Heisman on our team as quarterback. What's that?
The Harlan Hill.
The Harlan Hill, yeah. So we had the Harlan Hill finalist as our quarterback. Our running back All-American, and he was our second-string running back. Our first-string running back before the season started. Man. Going into the season, we were still this competitive. Our first-string running back going into the season wound up robbing a bank like the day before camp.
Literally the day before we reported the camp, man.
Insane, right?
Yeah.
Like day before camp. Our All-American cornerback transferred back home to Lindenwood. So we lost 2 of like our most critical, special teams players, our specialty players rather. Mm-hmm. 2 of our most specialty players, and our second string running back, still All-American. Now he had a hell of an O-line, right? But like, still, we went into that season. I think we lost to Northwest. We beat everybody else in the regular season, maybe.
Yeah, we were either a 1-loss or 2-loss team going into that deal, but we were rolling everybody, man, and smoked Pitt State in the regular season.
Yeah,
and.
Dude, it's hard to play at Pitt, too. And we played there twice. Pitt, if you guys look up a D2 school, look at Pitt State Stadium. They got a double-decker. It's loud. Their fans are crazy. They play awesome music to get everybody loud and flustered as an offensive lineman to try and hear the snap, too. We went in there, and I think we won by 10 points in the regular season. Then we had to play Abilene Christian at home, which was a shootout.
I know, man.
Dude, that was such a fun game.
Yeah. You get one of those 52-49 type games.
Oh, man. And now we're like on cloud 9 winning that game. Yeah. Right? First playoff game in Washburn history, won. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I think all right, fact check me, internet.
Yeah.
I think it's at least the first home game that we've ever won as a playoff game. It's one or the other, if not both. And then we got to go back to Pitt, and we're feeling freaking good.
Yeah.
We're feeling good.
When we played them in season, we were up big. I mean, they rallied to make it close, but it was not as close as it looked at the end.
Go out to Pitt, fair weather. Weather was horrible. We're a pro style. We had a quarterback running. I got a little pressure. I didn't play my best game. I'll be completely honest with you. I jumped off sides, and they wound up beating us by 8 points, I think. They stopped us on that goal line.
Yeah,
I couldn't
goal line stand,
believe it, dude. I could not believe it. I could not believe we couldn't get that ball in.
Yeah, with our line and going like tackle over me and you right next to each other.
Yeah. It was nuts. But folk would go on to sign with that. I remember being together and you got that call from your agent. I was like, dude, this is happening. Let's go. Got a call from the agent and went out to Colorado to do some training for a pro day. Yep. I don't want to tell your story.
No, you're good. Yeah. I remember we were looking to go out one night, and I'm getting a call from an agent. I ended up being on the phone with him for like 2 or 3 hours, and everyone else is like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, this is the call, man. This is what we're waiting for.
Yeah.
And, man, it ended up working out really good, and went out to Denver, Colorado to train for my pro day going into the deal. Ended up being one of the highest performers at my pro day, man. I got into K-State's pro day and just eviscerated the K-State O-line. I mean, it was not even close, man. Like, I've talked to the Washburn guys since, but I kind of fucked that deal up for a lot of the guys coming down the pipe afterwards. And sorry if that cost you a K-State pro day or not.
Because you did so good.
They literally, like, when we were in the weight room, they're like, all right, we're going to let our guys go first in every drill. So K-State guys go first, and then we'll let these 10 small school guys that we have allowed. Yeah. And kind of the deal was that you had to have scouts say, like,
co-sign you.
Yeah, they'll co-sign. Let's say I'll go to the K-State Pro Day if Folkerts will be there.
Yep.
Otherwise, we'll be somewhere else. And
Yep.
so they let us in to bring in more scouts for their guys, essentially.
Yep.
Their guys went. The first guy did terrible. He did like 12 or 14 reps on the 225 bench. For you non-football people, that's not great. That's kind of like the high school type range. Mm-hmm. And then they had their big tackle come in, and he did like 18 reps, and everyone, all their strength staff was going wild for him. And I was like, the 18 reps.
Was he a freshman?
I know. It's like, this is the senior tackle from K-State, and then I was next, and their strength coach is spotting me and stuff, and he doesn't know me for nothing, dude. And I had a certain breathing pattern that I would do, and I would pause at a certain amount, get my breath and go again. And I did my first rack at like 15. I paused at the top. He's like, "Come on, you got 2 more." And it just freaking set me off. I got pissed. I was like, I'm not even close,
Two
dude.
more? I'm halfway, brother.
And ended up getting 35 reps. And, like, the guys that were not part of the K-State program, like, they were all applauding. And then you just kind of feel the air, like, get sucked out of the room. You're like, oh, shit. Like, that guy's kind of the real deal. Like, we were just pumped up for our guys hitting these. And it kind of went like that from station to station. And we went to bench to vertical. Did like a 31.5, like jumping like a linebacker, and ran like a 5.1, which isn't awesome, but it was solid enough.
What are you weighing though? I mean, a 5.1.
Yeah, weighing
fantastic.
305.
Yeah.
And but just absolutely killed it at the K-State Pro Day, and a lot of that was really just the culmination of like our 4 years of competing in the weight room. And just loving that competition and trying to one-up everybody all the time, and just, focus that training for 3 months or 4 months in Colorado, and then get after it back in Kansas, and just lit it up there. Led into the kind of the pre-draft visits. Saints flew me down for a weekend, got on the whiteboard, and kind of did good enough to kind of check the box with.
Were they going saying, okay, what are you going to do during this play?
Yeah, they're like, hey, give us your top run play. Like, get on the whiteboard. Here's a marker. Go draw up your favorite run play.
Okay.
And tell me everybody's rule. And so I'd be drawing everybody, man. And then they'd be like, all right, talk pass protection to us. How do you guys do it? And dude, I didn't know what I didn't know at the time, but that was my biggest area that turns out I needed to learn was on the whiteboard, but I'd done just good enough to get in the door and kind of check some of the boxes for them. They ended up taking me right after the draft. Free agency, I had a contract signed within 10 minutes after the last pick. But that was really the first, you kind of as a Division II offensive lineman or Division II player or small school player, you kind of have that built-in chip on your shoulder of like, man, everybody passed on me. Mizzou passed on me.
No doubt.
Everyone I grew up rooting for and watching said, no, we're good, pass. So boom, chip on my shoulder. Over time you kind of erase that, and you're chasing your own goals, and you become All-American, and you kind of get all the NFL hype, and you kind of start feeling yourself again.
Yeah.
And then boom, draft day comes. Your name's not called. Your phone doesn't ring. Boom, chips right back on your shoulder. You got to show up into camp and then start over from square one. And
when you were going to, obviously the league and transitioning from offensive tackle to center, like, because I tried to do it the next year, and dude, it was a lot harder than
Dude, it's so hard.
You made it seem like it was like, obviously you did it right, and I was like, oh, Folk did it, man. I feel like I can do it. I've played center before in high school, like, but I just snapped a couple times. I played guard a lot, even at Washburn, but that's fucking hard, man.
Dude,
that is a grind.
Yeah, I mean, it's
much less the talent pool from D2
Yep.
to NFL.
So
man.
yeah, I mean, learning how to snap. I mean, that's like giving yourself an extra job before you do your job, and that's just, it's so foreign. It seems like it's all O-line play, but that center spot's different, man.
What kind of pressure did you feel?
Oh, it was massive, dude. I mean, even just like, being in those meetings and hearing the way they talk about football and what their keys, like, oh yeah, I'm seeing this safety rotation. We want to change the mic point. Like, dude, I had never heard of that stuff. You know, we were in our pass protection in college was mic left, mic right, and there's no rhyme or reason. We like to slide to the 3-tech. I mean, it was literally our vision was focused in the box. And, you know, you kind of go into this new environment where you're like, oh shit, I'm the dumbest guy in the room. And I'm the least experienced, and everything's on the line, and my whole identity is tied into this deal. It's like, dude, everyone thinks all your dreams are coming true, and in the same time, like, you're freaking swimming and you're up to your neck and you're half drowning. You know what I'm saying? It's like there was massive pressure, suiting up for practice and walking out. And
how'd you deal with it?
And
like, how did you deal with it at the time? Like, was there an exercise that you like inherited, or was there some mentorship of somebody that you talked to?
My first year in New Orleans, dude, I didn't deal with it, man. It just freaking ate at me, and it created a lot of like performance anxiety, and you know, I did not have the good coping mechanisms early on, and it all kind of culminated. You know, first preseason game, have a bad snap. You know, right? We're under center. I'm wearing I always wore gloves my whole career. You know, linemen would keep our hands padded up to the. Well, shit, my gloves got sweaty. It's the fourth quarter, and on my snap, one slipped out and went right through both of our legs, and ended up on freaking
Come on, man.
Sports Center, not top 10,
not come top on, 10. Man. Come on, man.
Dude. How do you come back from that, man? Like, oh shit. It's already been a rough camp.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I played a ton, didn't do great. And it's like, damn, dude. And then, you know, you finish out the rest of the you're getting 3 or dude, I vividly
remember all of this. And I vividly remember going like, oh no.
I know, dude.
And I remember the announcer saying, this young man's a Division II guy from Washburn University, but he made it to the NFL. He keeps doing stuff like this. He's not going to be around much longer. Come on, man.
I know, dude.
And I was like, oh, no.
No. I can laugh about it now, but dude,
okay, good. I hope I'm not.
No, it's all good now. But yeah, dude, ended up getting cut at the end of preseason. Bounced on the Tampa Bay's. The Tampa Bay Bucks practice squad for a week.
Like a day, right?
I mean, it was like a less than a week, man. It was, you know, I got in on a Monday and was out the door by, you know, the team was flying out on a Saturday and I was already gone. I was like, you know, you kind of get the tail end of prep on the first week and you're going into the next, and it's just like, you know, it was in and out, and, you know, it was kind of just a little blip of hope. It's like, oh man, you know, it was a rough outing in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay, the Bucks are in. Like, oh, thank God, I'm gonna get another chance. But the chance is already gone before you even had a chance.
And I mean, you probably had somebody else.
Practices.
Somebody else got cut that just had a little bit higher. It had probably nothing to do with what you did down there. They whatever you would have done was already predetermined. If this pawn is available, they're gonna replace.
Right.
You know, and that's just the black and white. You know. That's just a black and white competition of the league.
Yeah, dude. There's politics to football now. There's a pecking order. There's I always tell people this, man. The higher up you go in football, you want to talk about some guys getting all the opportunities. Like, walk into the building with the first round draft pick, even if you're better than him. What's the odds of they don't start him? Probably 0, or that O-line coach is fired, and the scout that said he's a first-round grade is fired.
They all bet on him.
And it's like, dude, they bet the house on these guys. They're draft picks. If you're an undrafted guy, you got to be a killer, and it can't be close.
It's got to be obvious.
You got to make it obvious, right? And it's the same in life. You know, guys are going to have opportunities in businesses or whatever the heck you do. And it's like, man, they're boys, man. If you're going to get his guy's spot, it's got to be obvious. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
You kind of start to learn that the farther you go in football and the kind of the higher up in your careers.
And to tie it back into business too, like, winning does not care, right? Grover says it in one of his books, like, winning does not care about yesterday. It doesn't care about the day before. does not care, period. Doesn't care.
Yep.
Like, you have to be obvious with it. So you quick
but
week.
Yeah, but yeah, so, you know, kind of in and out real quick, my rookie year. And then I was back at Washburn, just kind of training, kind of half being around football. It's kind of tough to be around you guys because, you know, you kind of feel like a failure a little bit. It's like, man, I'm the guy that kind of washed out, and, you know, I was supposed to be the guy that made it and all this kind of stuff. It's tough being around you guys and just working out and, you know, also rooting for y'all at the same time. It's kind of a weird spot.
Yeah.
You're kind of on the, you know, the stay ready circuit, and it's like, dude, how long does that last? No clue. You know, stay ready. How long can you stay ready for? Well, until I decide I got to make money. You know, that's pretty much how it goes. The whole season ended up washing by, and
I think that's one of the biggest battles. Is the uncertainty.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, you're going through something, you're going through hell right now. It's like, okay, at least tell me that it's going to end at this time. But you don't know.
You don't know
if or when it's going to end, and just that mental battle within itself. So you're coming from probably the high of highs, getting that call from the agent, getting that call from going in to New Orleans, and then, oh shit, then going back to Tampa, and then again, oh shit, and then now you're back down to probably some of the lowest lows. You know, you just fell off a cliff again.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
trying to stay mentally stable.
Yeah.
Trying to be poised. Everything you've ever worked for in your entire life, you just had in your hands.
And then it was gone, you know? It's like, man, and as football players, like a lot of guys, you talk to a lot of like ex-football players or guys that hung them up before they're ready. Like a lot of guys have freaking like an identity crisis about that because it literally shapes everything you've done for the last at least 8 years, maybe longer. But it's like, man, you get so wrapped up in that identity. And then it's like, man, dude, I freaking did it. I achieved my goal. I made it to Sunday, you know. And then it's snatched away and it's gone. You know, you effed it up, you know, and you got another one to blame but yourself, right? And now you got to look in the mirror and say, like, dude, what am I going to do? Like, how do I get out of this? You know, like you said, man, the uncertainty is like, man, how long can I chase it?
Yeah.
And it's, you know, something just clicked, man. I was just like, I had this turning point where I was like, dude, if I ever get a shot, like, I'm going to check my ego. I'm going to take every opportunity for what it is. You know, I'm not going to say I should be here, or I should be there, and say I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm just going to freaking take any opportunity and kind of have that no stone unturned mindset. And I got a freaking Facebook message. I mean, we're talking about
Tri-City?
We're talking about Tri-Cities, Washington, man. The Tri-Cities fever with Coach Adam Shackelford.
Yeah.
I mean, an indoor guy up in the middle of nowhere, Washington. And he's like, hey, man, sorry things didn't work out in New Orleans. We got a team gearing up for first of the new year in January. And, you know, I just spent the whole year, like, freaking replaying that bad snap in my mind, replaying cut day. And I'm like, dude, I need a chance to put some new football on tape. I need a chance to wash that out of my mind and just keep putting new stuff out there, keep developing. I knew I needed to grow more professionally as a center. I knew I had to take my game to a level that it wasn't at yet. And I was just like, dude, just fuck it, man. I'm in.
Yeah.
And I went up there. I was with them in training camp for like 4 weeks. We hadn't played a game yet. And I guess I was doing good enough. And Coach Shackelford, like, they were kind of a feeder team into the AFL, which was kind of the big league of the
arena.
Of the arenas.
Indoor, yeah.
And they're like, hey, man, they got a training camp spot with the San Jose SaberCats. Why don't you go down there and, you know, pack a bag and go. And I did that. Ended up playing. I was kind of the backup center there to a guy named Ray McNeil, who I still keep in touch with today. He's now one of the premier O-line trainers in Tampa.
Those guys aren't scrubs,
dude. They're not.
When I went and played with the Predators for the week that I went down there, like, I was surprised. Like, dude, there was a lot of D1 big names, guys that were journeymen that have played undrafted, that got hurt, that got cut. Like, that was the feeder, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, dude, like you can't. Exactly it, man. These guys are not scrubs. These guys are NFL caliber, but they're 6'2",
just that big, just that little bit away.
And so I was actually the fourth guy, man. I was playing fullback in the Arena Football League. I was running the ball. I had 2 rushing touchdowns, man, running the ball. But the deal of that league was like the fullback was kind of the fourth O-lineman. I'd either block the edge like a D-end, or I'd insert in the middle and block a backer. Yeah. Really just like started having fun playing football again, kind of the no stress of it.
I felt that from you during that time. I really did. Yeah. Like I remember, you know, touching base every once in a while. You're like, man, I'm having fun like out here in San Jose, and just like, dude, we did this. Actually, you know, you tell me about your touchdown or whatever. We'd stay in contact, and I felt that you were having fun.
Yeah, because the high stress of the NFL, man. A lot of the players, we always had this acronym like, number 1, NFL stands for not for long. Yep. And then in certain situations, it can stand for the no fun league, dude. It's freaking stressful as hell. Yeah. And it's a lot of pressure, and it's a lot of money, and it's a lot of coaches screaming in your face, and there's a huge pressure to perform, but because it's the highest stage. Right. But going back into San Jose, man, I was having a blast, dude. The pressure was kind of off the table, and I was just having fun playing football again, and I was learning, dude. I was playing center every day in practice, and then playing some fullback, and I needed to learn more, and working with Ray, learning like what his mentality of the stuff was, and we were 6 games deep into our season, and it was getting to that May timeline, which is the same time, like right after the draft. You know, all the NFL teams are going rookie mini camps. And I just got a call out of the blue, player scout from the Carolina Panthers, like, hey, man, you know, we liked you coming out of your senior year.
I was about to say, I remember them coming to our practice at Washburn even. Yeah. I remember him. He actually co-signed for me on my pro day for KU. Same guy.
So
the old guy with gray hair.
I don't John remember. Peterson, man. Yeah, legend scout, man.
He was a D2 believer.
He was, man.
He was. He liked us.
He was right a lot of times, too.
Yeah. So you remember him pretty well?
Oh, dude. Yeah. I used to have lunch with him every day.
Oh, no kidding.
I'll get to him in a second.
Okay.
But so yeah, dude. I got a rookie minicamp invite to the Panthers. You know, a scout had vouched for. We're like, we really liked them. You know, we didn't see enough of them in the preseason. You know, I had the one bad game, and then I played like a total of 6 snaps the rest of the deal. You know, rightfully so. My O-line coach probably hated me after that. But yeah, got into rookie minicamp, and dude, I'm in mid-season form, man.
You're ready to go.
I am literally in mid-season with the San Jose SaberCats. Everyone else is coming off of the pro day, combine, visits, draft day. Like, dude, those guys haven't played football since January bowl games.
Right.
You know, and now it's May. They've been off for 4 months. There's rust. Well, shoot, I've been spending the last 2 months knocking this rust off, kind of rising up some of these ranks and developing myself. I go into this rookie mini camp, and it's a 3-day camp, man. It's Friday to Sunday, and I go in with no contract. So you got 4 practices to earn a contract with the Carolina Panthers.
You got 8 hours.
Exactly it, dude. And it's like, you know, the first one's just helmets. Well, what are you gonna do? You know. But what I did, dude, I was you know, I kind of took that mindset of like, dude, no stone unturned, man. It's like, a lot of guys, you know, in the rookie mini camp, not as much, but a lot of guys would, you know, relax in the afternoons or go out and, you know, have a drink or whatever. But it's like, dude, I said, fuck that. I'm like, I'm in my hotel room late at night. I'm just drawing up plays, man. Because like where I lacked in New Orleans, I was kind of deficient on some of the mental side of football. It's like, dude, I can never let that be the story again. And I had to attack my problem. And I had to make a name for myself somehow. And it's like, dude, I got to be the smart guy.
You know what's crazy? I always thought you were the smart guy.
I know. It's scary, dude.
I would have been in trouble.
But
dude, I love what you said about you said it twice now. No stone unturned.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about sometimes what it takes to get to the highest level, not only in, the league and football and but just whatever it is, your willingness not to count the cost. Like, a lot of people are going to say, oh, hey, I will do whatever it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then what they start doing is counting. Okay, I got a receipt. I did this. Okay, when is this going to pay off? And it's like your willingness to leave no stone unturned and the persistence to not count the cost. If you're going to pay the price, if you're willing to pay and do whatever it takes, the price is irrelevant.
Yep, exactly.
Looking at this stone compared to that stone, paying this price compared to that price, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You're not counting. And you fucking did that, dude.
Yeah. And, going through that rookie mini camp, ended up, on a lighter day, ended up pancaking their first round draft pick D tackle.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Folkerts, you know who that was?
Oh, it's a Simone guy, right?
Yeah. It was
Ohio.
He was from Utah.
Utah.
Starlo Tulili.
Yeah.
And, he became a Pro Bowl D tackle. But they're like, do you know who that was? I was like, no, coach. I had no clue. He's like, that was our first round draft pick. And then, the next day, like, going
was that from John Peterson?
That was from our head offensive line coach, John Matsko, in film review with all the rookies and the whole draft class. And I still remember to this day one of my favorite memories of like kind of crashing into the scene is like, dude, I'm going into Sunday. It's rookie mini camp. They tell you to have your bag packed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got no contract. Everyone's bags, they got flights booked for you. And we have our morning meeting before the last practice in assistant line.
What does that feel like?
It's terrible, dude. It's terrifying.
Okay, you going into it the second time, how were you mentally? Were you like, did you kind of know that you didn't know, right? But like, did you kind of feel as if you were getting contract, or did you feel like coming home, bro?
I felt like I was kicking ass, dude. I felt like I was running the show and like being organized and over communicating. All the stuff I struggled with in New Orleans, I had to attack that and flip the script on it, dude. I had to be, in New Orleans, there'd be a couple plays where like, oh, coach, he didn't make a call enough. Like, I didn't know the call. Yeah. And now I'm the guy that's over communicating and making it loud so the coaches in the back can hear me. And
you didn't waste it.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, dude, I had to freaking double down on what I was deficient in and make that my strength. And
bags are packed.
Yeah, so I had to pack my bag, and the assistant coach Ray Brown comes up to me right before the last practice. He goes, hey, stud. He's like, you know what our plan is? I go, no, coach, no clue. He's like, we're gonna keep you. He's like, I don't want to tell you too soon, but that's our plan. And I was just so relieved and so fired up. They made a roster move.
Hold on, you got one more practice though,
I know,
buddy.
you still got practice.
No pressure. Like, I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. But I mean, just talk about being fired up going into that last practice and just walking out of that day of having a contract in hand. I mean, they had to cut a 10-year veteran off the roster to get me, because I took his contract, man. I think they had to cut a guy to get me just into training camp, just to have a shot at making the team.
Who was their center at the time again?
And their center was Pro Bowler Ryan Khalil.
Yeah, Khalil.
USC guy.
Yeah. Stud.
Yeah, stud, man. So I get into training camp. I'm learning a ton from him and Jeff Byer and like all these guys that are USC, Texas, all the big schools, but this time was different, man, because I was more confident and I was learning and I was attacking my problems. And again, man, it's just like every night, dude. Training camp is all of June. We're off most of July, but then it's like end of July and August through the preseason. I mean, you got time to really learn it and get after it. And it's like, dude, I didn't go out one single time with the guys like, oh yeah, we got an event, we're going to the Coca-Cola 600, like who wants to? I was like, nah, dude, I can't. Like, I'm in my hotel room just drawing plays in my notebook. I'm like the lamest guy of all time, but I was like, dude, I must stay ahead of it. Because I know how that playbook stacks. I know how install 13 feels impossible, or it's like you're adding 5 or 6 plays a day, and I know how install 12, 13, 14 feels. It's like, shit, you're struggling. So I was just like really trying to stay ahead of it, attacking the problems before they showed up, and had a good preseason and was super blessed. I made the 53-man roster, going from a guy that was borderline not good enough to make it, not cut out for the NFL.
And guess what? I remember going down to Bank of America Stadium in South Carolina and watching my man warming up on Sunday and in the jumbo package on goal line.
That's right, man.
Had a preseason game snapping to Cam Newton.
Yep, man. I lasted around, dude.
Yeah.
I turned that weekend shot, rookie minicamp into 3 years straight with the Carolina Panthers on the active roster, man. And, was part of the Super Bowl team in the first part of that year and had a bad ankle injury at the end of the preseason and, was around and rehabbing with the team. And they're like, dude, like, we got to make a move. Like, we got to have a healthy center. Like, Khalil was out with a shoulder injury and I had started a couple of the preseason games and I was slated to go and I was like, oh, this is my big shot. And, pulling around the edge, a non-contact injury just like blew out my ankle. And, it was kind of that reality check again, dude. It's like right when you feel like you got it under control, like your plan's coming through. It's like, dude, I'm going into year 3. Like, this is my pension year. Like, if I make the team this year, then I get retirement. Like, the freaking chips start stacking. In those NFL calendar years, but ended up blowing out my ankle, and it's like, dude, this was my retirement year. Like, I needed that, and ended up doing an IR deal, and then getting traded to the San Francisco 49ers, rehabbing out there, watching all my buddies with the Panthers go undefeated. They started off the year 15-0. Everyone was talking about 1972 Dolphins, like greatest team of all time. Like, oh man, this is it. And I'm over here like, dude, I was supposed to be starting.
You're supposed to be starting.
And until Khalil got healthy. But it's like, dude, I would have started 5 or 6 games, and what it was the greatest team of all time. And they ended up dropping the last game of the regular season, but it's like, dude, I was watching my guys have all that success, and it's like, dude, you think you don't go into a dark space like that again? It's like, dude, right when you're back in the light and you feel like you got it, and it's like, damn, dude, boom, chip on the shoulder again. It's like, you got to go reprove it again. And went out to San Francisco, was still kind of getting healthy, was on the practice squad there, got activated to be on the St. Louis Rams to kind of finish out that year, and having a blast, being in my hometown, playing for the Rams, team I grew up watching. Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, all those guys. It's kind of the hometown kid's dream. I mean, to play for the big team, and that was kind of a weird off season. Stan Kroenke, every St. Louis native's favorite person, decided to pull the plug on St. Louis and pull the Rams out to L.A.
Bring you out to the West Coast.
So I got to be a part of that, man. It was
a season of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I was on Hard Knocks out in L.A., man.
No. I remember watching it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, great chance to continue my career, but it's just not like I tell you, man, the politics of football. The 2015 Rams drafted like 5 or 6 O-linemen. It was like the biggest O-line heavy draft of all time.
Yeah.
And I was a center. I'm not. I don't have the length or size to play guard and tackle in the NFL. I was kind of a hybrid guard and a short yardage tight end jumbo guy, but that's like position 1 is definitely center. And they've given opportunities to their drafted guys and their other centers that they had. And it's like, dude, I'm playing guard all preseason with Jared Goff and all these guys is awesome. But it's like, dude, that's not my role. And kind of got put in a new organization where it's like, you kind of see the writing on the wall. I know how this song and dance
Did Carolina not want to flirt with you again?
Not right away. They had made some moves and had some success, and they were kind of going status quo. that off season going St. Louis to LA, like I was in a big hurry. Like I wanted to secure my first opportunity I had.
Yeah.
And the Rams gave me a chance to re-sign, and I just took it right away without really, like, because I wasn't in position to be shopping and waiting and holding out or nothing like in that league, dude. Like, if you say no, like they're on to the next, you know. So I didn't have enough irons in the fire to really like call my shots or say I need to get back to Carolina. So I took the girl to prom that said yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, but yeah, back there, dude, it's like the opportunity wasn't quite the same as that I'd had before. And, ended up getting cut on Hard Knocks in front of national television. The guy's, you know, kind of one of the worst days of your life. And there's a cameraman right in front of your face. And like, you kind of looking
Jeff
at him like,
Fisher.
if you
Jeff
smile,
Fisher
I'm going to punch
your
you, dude.
ass, dude. He cut your
Yeah,
ass.
freaking Jeff Fisher, man. Me and my boy David Arkin, man, we always said, dude, like, one day these guys will get theirs too. Like,
Yeah.
when we were players, dude, we loved the last day of the season because that was the day the coaches got cut, man. We were haters, dude. We were like, got your ass. It comes around, dude. You cut our ass, we got you back. But
you just start blowing up the group message. Oh, did you see? Yeah.
Yeah, but I respected those guys, man. It just wasn't in the cards out there. And then got another chance with Carolina in 2017. You know, that
So did you take a sabbatical year?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. You know, I had torn my labrum in the preseason.
Yeah, I remember.
And
I remember you were a little banged up.
I was kind of in that world of like, do I get the surgery now and try to get healthy, or do I stay ready because a labrum's kind of one of those deals you can play through. Got through about October, November. I was like, hey, dude, the phone's crickets. Like, let's get healthy. OTAs are coming up in May. Let's make a move now and get healthy. So got the surgery, got married, and, you know, ended up going back to Carolina 2017. And, you know, it was one of those deals where like, hey, they called me like, hey, man, you got any football left in the tank? You still love it? I was like, of course I do. Like, why would you ask me that?
Yeah.
So it was kind of one of those deals where it was like they knew I knew the system. Kind of felt like a curtain call type deal. It wasn't, you know, I had a great preseason, but, you know, they ended up making some roster moves, cutting me, and that was just kind of the end of the deal in the NFL. But my mentality never changed. I was still hungry. I was still wanting to pursue it. I still felt like I hadn't arrived. And dude, I was digging, man. I played in York Hall football, another spring league in the Venice Beach, Florida area. Got to play with Mike Miller, another Washburn guy.
I remember this.
And
was it UFL?
It was called York Hall football.
But you played UFL, right? Or no?
Yeah. That was down the road.
Okay,
go
ahead.
But this first one, it was like the fans could literally vote on the plays through an app. And they voted on our plays right before. So it'd be like a 1 minute in between plays while the fan vote was coming in.
That's nuts.
God, we're down there trying to win a game, and the fans are calling like a double reverse. Like, what the hell, dude? It was one of those deals, man. They told us there was going to be all the scouts there.
Yeah.
There wasn't. And, you know, it was Mike Sherman, who was a former NFL guy, and some other NFL guys, but they were making a move to the CFL. And
you imagine.
Kind of one of
you're backed up in your own goal line. You're on like the 1 yard line, and you get a call for a double reverse, and you're like, bro, I'm on my 1 yard line here.
Yeah,
I gotta get out.
We're like, all right, we're down 2. Let's just go. We're in field goal range.
Nope, fake
double reverse. Fucking TFL, we're out of range, dude. It's freaking over. And, you know, it's just kind of one of those deals where it's like you go into a situation you don't really know. There's hope, but it's like, again, like same mindset, dude. I just wanted to put new film out.
Yeah. And dude, you're doing what you freaking loved, man.
Yeah.
That's just one thing I always envied about, you know, because I think that, you know, you'd mentioned the identity thing, and I went through it too, man. I remember, you know, I wanted to play football or be a coach in football and be involved with football. Still do. rest of my life. I always do. And I want to come back to it. I always tell Ember when I retire, I'm going to coach football. I always tell her that's what I'm going to do. And I remember when it didn't happen for me and I got hurt and you know, just didn't happen. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't big enough. I didn't check enough boxes. And I had a meniscus tear that I had another surgery on after it was done. And I talked to the guy, I forget his name, he said in Tri-Cities. What's his name?
Shackelford.
I actually signed to go out there.
Really?
Yeah, I was working at Enterprise, and I just got my meniscus, and it was January, just like you said, and we had just got married in October, and I'd signed to go out there, and I was like, dude, I gotta hang it up. It's like I'm not going if I'm not healthy. I started to get the arthritic. I knew my body was done.
Yeah.
But it was right in this October-November season, and this was also the first time I ever went deer hunting. And I went by myself, dude, and I had a crisis. I had a breakdown in the deer stand, man, just thinking, like, what am I going to do? Like, this was my first and only, you know, like, my first love, right? Like, how am I going to, like, dude, it's a gut punch, man.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
I'm in a deer stand just bawling by myself in the middle of the woods. I don't think I've ever told anybody this story. Yeah. Just bawling by myself in the middle of the woods, knowing I'd never put on pads again, knowing I was done. And I could have, but I was like, dude, I gotta be a man about it. It's got to be done.
It's something that a lot of athletes are not like ready to unpack. A lot of high-level performers are not ready to walk away, dude.
It's so fun, and you got to keep playing though.
Yeah.
You got to keep playing, and you still get to be around it.
Yeah. So, you know, I did a couple of these spring leagues, man. I did the XFL in 2020. It was kind of the homecoming tour. Got to play for the St. Louis Battle. You know, they gave me the mic on the first home
stadium
opener.
was rocking, bro.
I said, St. Louis, football is back.
Yeah.
I was part of the team that left. And then I was the first team that brought it back. So dude, it had so much
There was
fun,
news.
man.
You were on the news for it.
Yeah,
and everything.
Dude, it was awesome. I was like the hometown kid, man. I was like, I was getting interviewed by Fox 2 guys and all that stuff, and it was awesome, man.
Dude, I remember going to that first game, or one of the games we went to, and we had field pass, but something happened with Brad's son Bennett, and we had to chat like in the middle. We were supposed to come down afterwards.
Yeah,
I was so bummed. But they only let you sit on the bottom bowl, and that place was like just rocking. Crocky sucks. Crocky sucks. Dude, and you guys were good. Did you guys win a championship?
Well, the season we were doing awesome. We were like a 5 or 6 win team, and we played through 8 weeks, and freaking COVID came and shut the whole deal down. But freaking St. Louis showed out and put on for the city. I mean,
Holla at your boy.
That's right, dude. They were packing it, dude. They were known to do it, and I think it was kind of an FU to Kroenke and a we are a football town, and all that type of moment. But COVID came, and it was like, dude, like I'm trying to resurge my career, and it's like freaking COVID. Are you serious? Like the whole country shut down, and that's kind of when I got to transition into coaching. You know, from there, volunteered at Washburn, man, our old stomping grounds. It's like, hey, dude, like I called Coach Shurig. Hey, I want to kind of get into coaching.
Head coach if there's at Washburn. Coached us at our head coach there, recruited us and got us there. Yep.
Yeah, legendary Washburn coach, man. He said, hey, is there anything where I can just help out, man? I was like, you know, they threw a stipend at me as kind of an attaboy, but I wasn't looking for pay. I just wanted to be around football and help out. And kind of in a weird scenario, dude. Like I go in and Dane Semino, he's my old college quarterback. He's the O-line coach. And now I'm this like sort of this like O-line high level player, but I'm also the assistant to the guy that really never played O-line. And, you know, so it's kind of a weird like relationship there, and how do you navigate that?
That was a big miss.
Where you feel like you're a little overqualified and maybe a little bit undervalued at times, but so kind of navigated my first year coaching.
Dude, the humility you had to have on that,
dude.
man.
Yeah, I had to bite my tongue a couple times, man, and try to help out the best I can without stepping on toes. It's just a weird deal, and I knew I needed to get out.
Yeah.
I was like, either they got to make the move and hire me as the O-line guy, or I got to get out of here because this is not good for my growth.
Yeah, it's not going to be what it needs to be.
You know, I talked to Coach Sure. He's like, hey, we just don't have any opportunities. I didn't want to directly ask for it, but I was just like, hey, I get it. Like, you got your guys. I love it. The program was going in a great direction. We had made the playoffs for the first time since we had been in the playoffs as a player. Mm-hmm. So when I got brought back as a coach, boom, we're right back in it.
Exciting,
just like we never left.
Yeah.
And had to go. And took a $27,000 a year job
Wingate
to coach tight ends and fullbacks at Wingate University in Charlotte, North Carolina, a city I loved. And,
how hard is it to go from making a weekly check a year?
Dude,
we don't have to stay there, but dude,
my weekly checks in the NFL.
You love using football. You gotta love using football,
yeah,
man.
Dude. I made more in a week than I did at a year at Wingate.
Yeah, probably 2 years. Yeah,
2, 3. Yeah, but dude, honestly, I probably learned more there than I did anywhere.
Really?
Ever, because I had to learn pass game. I had to learn tight end play. I had to learn formations. How many O linemen can name formations?
Power.
That's a play.
Trips right.
Yeah, trips right. Yeah, drop trips right for me.
That's about.
And it's like, dude, you're gonna learn like 20 formations. You gotta learn motions.
Jumbo.
You gotta
I got like 2.
You gotta learn coverages. Like, dude, I was like, it was kind of like, you know, not the best job, but like I learned a ton from Coach Reich. And
sounds like this was kind of like the AFL moment for your coaching career.
Dude. It's like, it's like you think, hey, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm not.
Let me go sharpen my tools real quick.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Let me keep my head down. You know what's been really cool to hear you talk about? You haven't come out and said this yet, and I think that a lot of people, you know, you talk about attributes of discipline and accountability and work hard and things like that, but bro, your stamina is impressive.
Yeah.
Like your stamina to go through even a college career. A lot of people, you know, what's your percentages? And then you go to the NFL and you do that for 6 years. And then you go to the XFL and have that stamina through COVID. And you get that yo-yo feeling of the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows. But to keep the composure and to keep the stamina, I think that's a character trait. That's a value. You ever thought about that?
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's what I tell people. I was like, dude, it's all about grit. You know, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to trade for it? Are you willing to trade a 9 to 5 for it? Are you willing to chase it if the price is unknown? Like, do you really want it, or do you just half want it? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, I fucking really wanted it. Yeah. And I had to. So I go to Wingate, go to coaching, get promoted as the offensive line coach the next year, and
probably making 30 now.
Yeah, I got bumped up to 40. It was awesome. I was like, all right, I might be able to cover rent this year.
Yeah.
And but
nothing wrong with people that make that kind of money. Just it's kind of
seriously
funny. Yeah.
Charlotte, North Carolina's an expensive city, man.
Yeah,
it's a real expensive city.
And how many kids do you have at this point? 3,
and
2?
At that point, we were just our 3rd kid was on the way.
Oh, dude, I remember you calling me on the 3rd one.
Yeah.
You called me, and I just had 3. And you called me. And you're like, hey, what's up, man? I was like, dude, just dealing with these damn kids. I'm like, da-da-da-da. Like, bro, this is crazy. I can't even do this, that, the other. And then I go, wait, you're not calling to tell me you're pregnant, are you?
Actually, I am, dude.
Do you remember that?
I do.
I was like, wait, hold on. Before I keep going, you're not calling to tell me. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, man. But, yeah, dude, it's a crazy time in my life. I mean, everything was... You know, the bills were stacking up.
Oh, congratulations, bro. So, it's going to be great.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
No.
I'm going crazy over here. Oh, you're going to love it.
Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
And that's how all parents are. Yeah. That's how I'm talking to my
3
sister.
daughters.
Like,
you're going to love it.
Y'all are ready. You're going to love it. They stressed out in 2 months. But yeah, dude, like kind of in that transition year, like going from tight end to O-line as a coach, like some of my old coaches were hitting me up and buzzing my phone and like, dude, you got one more ride in the tank or not, man? Like, we need a guy. Like, you know, we know you've been out of the game for 2 years, and dude, I wasn't making nothing. And then I got that, I'd fallen so deeply in love with football and just chasing it and living that life, and the weekly grind, getting into routine. I just love it. And got that opportunity to go play in the XFL's resurgence in 2023. The old Battlehawks staff from St. Louis, they were now all coaching down in Dallas.
I was about to say in Texas, right?
Yeah.
They shared it with another.
Yeah, with the Dallas Renegades.
Yeah.
The Arlington Renegades, it was that year. But it was Bob Stoops, legendary Oklahoma coach. My first day there, I said, "Hey, Coach Stoops, check this picture out." I went to an Oklahoma Sooners football camp before my senior year of high school, and I had a picture with Coach Stoops.
No kidding.
And it's me as a string bean offensive lineman at 220 pounds or 230 pounds. And but you never thought this kid was going to play for you. And, dude, that year was just like such a full circle year for me.
Yeah. Is that when you messed your hand up?
Nah, not my hand, but it was starting to my neck.
Oh, your neck.
We were winning a lot. We ended up winning the whole championship. We won the deal in the end. I remember getting goosebumps in the fourth quarter when you're up 2 scores and you're like, dude, this is it, man. I felt like God had really brought me around one last time to kind of close this chapter of my life out as a player. And I knew I had the O-line job waiting for me back at Wingate. I even get goosebumps now talking about it, but it's dude, it was one of those deals where it's like I could finally have closure of being a player. I'd never won a championship. I finally got to win the championship. It was unfinished business from the St. Louis Battlehawks in 2020, and we got it done down in Dallas in 2023. Just had to wait COVID out in between. But it was such a full circle moment for me, and I had so much clarity walking out of that game where I knew I was finally done, because that whole season, the vertebrae in my neck, the doctors, they did some scans. They're like, you don't have as much cushion as you used to. I would get stingers practically every time I fit up a block. My arm would be numb for half a game. I'd go home at night and tell my wife, nothing crazy. I was like, I need you to wrap a towel around my neck and just freaking pull it and just separate, because my nerves were starting to get pinched. And I knew, I was like, dude, we have to win this. We have to win this year, because this is all I can do. My body was tapping out. And when we finally did it, and all the confetti was falling and the rock was there, and it was freaking awesome. And I really felt like that was God telling me, it's like, dude, this chapter's done. Like, you did it.
You did it, man.
And I was really fired up and motivated to go into coaching, going back and bringing some of those type of moments for my players.
Yeah.
And, for me, the biggest why, I tell my players all the time, man, you got to know your why. The whole reason of getting into coaching, my first 3 years, I made nothing, not enough to live off a family of 5 in an expensive city. But I wanted my players to live out that same dream that I lived. And I tell my guys all the time, man, we're chasing Sundays. We're chasing draft day. I want to extend their careers beyond college football Saturday. And that was such a blessing in my life. It's like, dude, how can I help people get to these same, how can I help them achieve these same goals? And that's really that's my why in coaching. I tell my players all the time, man, we're chasing Sunday. I love to get the accolades. I love to get top O-line in the country. I love to get All-Americans for my guys, all conference. But it's like, dude, we're chasing draft day. I coached for Coach Farley, man. He really instilled in me. He's like, dude, when you go out and hunt, he's like, we're hunting for bucks. We're not out there hunting to get does and get meat in the freezer. I want the one I can freaking mount up on my wall and have the antler rack on display and all that type of stuff. And it's like, dude, I just took that mentality to coaching.
I don't think I've ever heard you go through that story full circle from, getting, a COVID year in the XFL to then coming back and, your championship win with the XFL and kind of putting that closure to being, all of this kind of pent up and obviously whenever Carolina didn't work out and they were having all this success and you went to the Rams or you went to San Francisco and then St. Louis and then going back in and then they compete for the championship game, I don't think I've ever heard how important that was to be able to have peace with it.
Yeah. It's one of those deals, man. It's like as an athlete, like you're always chasing a championship.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's just like the ever elusive one, man. Lost the state title game in high school.
I was about to go full circle. So I know what the 2010 class they won, right? Stanley, right?
Yep.
Stanley, or was it 9 maybe?
Yeah, I graduate high school and they win state back-to-back years in a row and go a third time, and it's like, and when I was a sophomore,
so you played the championship game.
Yep, lost it as a sophomore to DeSmet, and then my senior year was kind of a rebuilding year, and we kind of caught the brunt of that. We get into MIAA, could never get past Northwest Missouri State. We're always one game short of a conference championship. We get to the NFL. We're on a part of some really good teams, but could never get it done or could never make the team that got there. Get to the big dance, and it's like, dude, it's just you continually
one bad
start falling short, and it's like, damn, dude, it's like, and that's why it was such a big deal for me. It's like, man, I finally did it, and my body is like telling me it's time.
Bro, that's awesome, man. And I love hearing it full circle and being a part of some of it with you too.
But so then I transitioned to coaching next. I go from Washburn to Wingate to playing back to Wingate, and then I got my real big break at Northern Iowa.
Yeah, UNI, right?
Yeah, UNI, University
Panthers.
of Northern Iowa, and in Cedar Falls, Iowa. The quarterback's coach at Wingate with me, it turns out it was the Pac-12 all-time leading passer, Luke Falk, and Wingate was kind of this home for lost toys
Breeders.
where it's like, dude, Coach Reich has such a pedigree. His coaching tree is unreal. I mean, he's got the head coach of the Dolphins. I mean, he's got all these guys that you were like, oh, everyone was at this small school in North Carolina, and it's like we all he had a knack for finding just high-level players that wanted to get into coaching and bringing us all together. Well, shoot, I coached 1 year with Luke Falk. He gets the OC job at UNI, and then he hires me on. He's like, hey, man, I got a tight end spot and I got a wide receiver spot. I got my guy for receivers. I need a tight ends guy. And I'm like, well, I've coached tight ends. I know that world a little bit. Is there any way I can dual role into offensive line? I was like, would the O-line coach be cool if I got like the tackles tag as well? So I became, and he was, Rick Nelson, he was cool with me kind of taking on that tackles role, and so I was the tight ends and tackles coach at UNI. Kind of instilled that mindset, man, chasing Sundays, chasing All-American mode, and
it looked like it was a pretty fun place to be coaching at.
Yeah, it
the
was,
indoor
dude.
stadium.
We're playing in the Unidome. I mean, they're packing it out.
I remember Lindsay posting pics of her and the girls and like the little club seats.
Yeah, dude,
and like
they
I shouldn't
treated
say
us
little,
right.
but it looked like a fun spot.
Dude, it was awesome, and it all started to feel like how football is supposed to feel.
Mm-hmm.
As I learned it as a player, it's like playing Division II is like, you're playing in some relatively empty stadiums or small. Then you go play in the NFL, and it's packed as far as you can see. And then now I'm starting to bridge up the coaching ranks where it's like, all right, this is starting to feel like kind of those NFL Sundays was starting to feel like we're playing in the Missouri Valley, the best conference in FCS, and we struggled a little bit that year, but it's like, dude, the techniques and the stuff I was teaching and the core values I was teaching my guys, I felt like I was living vicariously through them.
Yeah.
And, dude, both my seniors, or 2 out of the 3 seniors I coached that year, are on NFL rosters today, coming out of FCS Northern Iowa. It's Jared Penning, a tackle with the Ravens, used to coach the hell out of him, and he'd stay after practice and be like, hey, Coach Folkerts, I need to work on my sets, man. I need to, tweaking his stance a little bit, and we just going just the extra all the time. And then my tight end, Lane Pryor, toughest kid I've ever coached. Now he's, he had a monster pro day.
I think I saw you post on him Because maybe he got picked back up recently.
Yeah. So he had a monster pro day, but then tore his quad. It's like, dude, he was killing it. I had the Cowboys and Texans calling me about him. I was just loving it. And, he ended up having to rehab his quad, and now he's with the Texans. So it's like, dude, we're still chasing Sundays.
All right, hold on. You said toughest player,
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Like, I remember you talking about Aaron Donald once or twice.
Yeah. Dude, this guy.
Come on.
Aaron Donald, okay. Aaron Donald is on another level. But freaking Lane Pryor is a 5 workouts a day kind of guy all summer long. Dude, he had a freaking sand workout in the morning. He had the team run. Then he had the team lift. And then he had a boxing deal he did 3 times a week. And then he came back out in the evenings, was running routes for the quarterbacks. It's like, dude, the guy's unreal. And, you talk about a guy who was with stamina. I was like, that guy could freaking go. And
so how was it? I want it's like the hardest person you ever blocked. Was it Donald?
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Dude, Aaron Donald is one of those creatures, man. He's just
creatures.
Yeah, not a guy. He's not a guy. He's one of those creatures, man. He's just, his quickness was unreal. And
did you block him through the whistle ever?
Yeah, no, we'd block him up in practice. Now he was gonna get pissed off.
Yeah,
and probably grab you and like throw you, jolt you across the way.
You never had to throw bows on him?
No,
that wouldn't go there.
That would be a great call, dude. The good franchise guy and also the biggest. He'd probably be like a prime Mike Tyson. Is how you know what I'm saying? He's a smaller, quick guy, extremely powerful. He's literally football's Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And the quickness will beat you faster than his power. I feel like a lot of times you just couldn't even touch him in pass pro. He just got wrist control and got around the edge before you could blink.
I mean, he'll go down to top 3 of all time,
yeah, for sure.
If not one,
he'll be a first ballot.
I don't know. This guy Myles Garrett right now breaking the sack record this year. Was he 1 sack away? I think.
I don't even know, man.
I think he is.
But Aaron Donald, it'll be him and Sapp, his
Gorilla
interior D lineman,
Reggie White,
D tackles,
yeah, just freaking nuts.
Freaking.
All right, Trevor, what's his name again? Give him a shout out.
Trevor Penning, man. Shout out to Trevor Penning on the Ravens.
All right, no pressure, man. You guys need to.
And now we're letting the chips fall for my Mercer guys, man. I coached a year, you and I.
All right, yeah. So because if I remember correctly, their AD got replaced, and their AD came with luggage, and their AD brought in a new coaching staff.
Yep. We got snaked from the inside out, dude. It's an inside job, man. The new AD comes from Drake. She was around the program all the year. Like, we had the winningest coach in Missouri Valley history, Mark Farley. Had a couple shaky years in a row, and she was looking to make a splash move. And
just unforgivable, unapologetic is the word I'm looking for. What it was.
Technically, on paper, it was a retirement, and that's probably where I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But they made him do the press conference. But Coach Farley loved ball too. He's like me and you, man. We can't.
Is he done coaching right now? Is he not coaching right now?
No, he is.
Where's he at?
That's why I'm saying retired. But now he's an analyst at Illinois.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like it's in his blood. There was one day he told us, man, I live for college football. So like that's why I wake up in the morning. I think a guy like that doesn't retire.
Yeah.
These guys that love football, they're gonna do it till they die.
Yeah.
It's their passion. So hear him retire, quote unquote, and the college coaching carousel, man. Like, she brought her crew in from Drake. Hired stepsis. Great dude. But he's. He had his own guys that he liked, so we kind of all got the boot. Had a connection, get me an interview at Mercer for the O-line spot. I was the only guy that didn't fly into town. My wife was due. I literally did my O-line interview via Zoom. It was like a 3-hour Zoom, taking them through drill tapes, teach progression, pass pro, like everything, man.
So recruiting. This was an introduction from Chris. Or what's the guy? The head coach at UNI.
Mark Farley.
Mark Farley, yeah. Sorry,
yeah,
Farley.
I had one of my old Wingate connections.
Okay.
Shaden Metters, man, he was the tight ends coach at Mercer. When I left to go to UNI, he left to go to Mercer. And they made a move at O-line coach, got me the interview.
Yeah.
Kind of rolled from there, but I literally finished this interview, like 3-hour long deal. We spent the whole day. My wife was pregnant and ready to pop. We literally finished the interview, ate dinner, and then had to rush to the hospital to go have our 4th baby. Little Edgene, but it was wild, dude, because they're like, son of a gun, man, the guy we like the best. Like, we flew out these other guys and wined and dined and showed them the city. Like, we want that guy up in Iowa.
Yeah.
That's the freaking stud, man. And, got down to Mercer and, dude, we crushed it, man. We led the FCS, fewest sacks allowed, and number 1 offense in the country. I think statistically, we ended up at number 3 after the Auburn game, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
But those guys aren't playing SEC opponents.
Right.
Best offensive line in the country. We only gave up 5 sacks on the year, only 3 to FCS opponents. Our sack rate was like 0.25 a game. I mean, once every 4 games, somebody'd get us.
That's nuts.
It's unreal, dude. The people that give up 5 sacks a game.
I saw a statistic out there. I think all 5 of your front starting 5 were either all conference or all American.
Yep.
Or both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly, man.
It's nuts.
Kind of one of the biggest things I've taken from my coaching trajectory is like, dude, you just got to be where your feet are and pick up the shovel and get to work, man. There's a saying in Georgia, man. It's kind of like an old farmer's tale. I learned it from our AD down there. His name is Jim Cole, but he's like, hey, you ride in your daddy's truck when you're a kid. It's all red dirt roads in the back country of Georgia. He's like, when it rains, the roads get real sloppy. It's like, and a lot of times your truck's gonna get stuck in the mud, But a lot of those guys, man, they keep a shovel in their truck bed. He's like, so what are you gonna do when you get stuck, man? Are you gonna call AAA and you're gonna wait for 2 hours for them to show up in this storm and to come bail you out, or are you gonna get out and put your boots on and pick up the shovel? And it's like, dude, I've resonated with that so much throughout my career as a player, and now it's kind of one of my mantras as a coach. Is like, dude, just pick up the shovel, man.
Pick up the shovel.
What are you waiting for? Just be where your feet are and attack it. A biggest part of my coaching is something I realized is like, dude, you got to be a master of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was kind of the duo guy, which is kind of one of the newer run concepts of football, but it's like, dude, I freaking mastered it from learning it in the NFL, and I've kind of taken that core run with me to all the schools I've coached at, and I've kind of had the pass pro adjustments and the pass pro system that have allowed me to be successful. And it's all of the stuff I learned in the NFL, and I'm just taking those skills and drills and translating them down to our college players, and it's working out, man. I was able to see through the fluff of what are we just doing and getting through Indy and what actually helps, and it's just part of that mindset of, dude, like, we got to get to work, man. We got stuff. We got problems to attack. We got areas where we need to develop and go, and we got to pick up the shovel and get to work, man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I've kind of molded my coaching career after. It's like, dude, I'm not worried about if I'm at Wingate or if I'm at Washburn and I'm overlooked, or if I'm at UNI, or if I'm now at Toledo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like in my mind, same as when I was a player, it's like, dude, I freaking belong at that level, man. And we're going to get there someday. But it's like, dude, I got to be where my feet are. And we're going to attack the problems. We got to develop the players. And we're going to produce results. And that's what we're doing.
That's awesome, man.
So, yeah, we just got hired on at Toledo a week ago. And I'm pumped up to be in the FBS now.
University of Toledo.
Dream of mine, a Division I offensive line coach.
Yeah.
Check the box.
Yeah.
And,
this is the beginning, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like this story, you've got a nice foundation of what's yet to come. And these coaches, they go and, you kind of journeyman and through the league and journeyman through, finding the coaching staff and the opportunity. And you're walking as if you're already, it doesn't matter Wingate, it doesn't matter Washburn, it doesn't matter. You've already been implementing everything that's plug and play.
Yeah.
And it's real. And when you All American 5 or when you All Conference 5 and All American, some of those guys starting 5, and you have that Dude, that's every statistic you want right there for an O-line coach. What else could you want to continue to blow
That's all
up?
we can do, man. And that's our statistic, right?
Yeah.
There is no career receptions or rushing yards. I mean, it's like, dude, we got to chase. We're chasing all conference, all American, and we're chasing Sundays, man. We're chasing draft day. And that's a want and a dream of mine for all my players. And now I just live vicariously through them. I mean, it's one of the most exciting times of my life is just competing with you every day at Washburn and each of us taking our game to the next level that allowed me to live out an awesome dream. And now I still get to chase that dream with those athletes of ours, and it's still awesome, and I still get fired up for it. And now it's getting pretty clear that's what I want to do.
All right, man. I'm gonna need some Toledo swag here soon.
That's right, man. I got to send the care package down.
I missed out on Mercer, even though John Gruden got like half of your
full equipment
room.
He got stuff I didn't even get, man.
Oh man. Anything else you want the Toledo Rockets to know about Brian Folkerts on what they're getting coming out to Ohio?
We're gonna get a smash mouth brand of football coming to Toledo and coming to the MAC. I'm fired up for some Tuesday night action and live on ESPN. Everyone will get to see it. But, dude, the way we prepare and the way we attack people is going to be something that they haven't seen on that stage yet. And, I'm just pumped up to be part of the Toledo Rocket family and Team Toledo up there. But we got an exciting brand of football coming, man. And, the future is bright.
I love it, dude.
In Ohio.
I'm gonna anchor us down with one question I thought of that I wanted to finish this podcast up with, and you kind of mentioned the shovel and you kind of mentioned some of the other things. So if it's repetitive or if you got something else, I'd love to hear it. But what advice do you give a high school kid who made it D2 or a D2 kid or an undrafted kid or somebody who's not at the right place that they want to be professionally? Maybe it's not football, maybe it's in life. What advice do you give that kid to keep coming up and to win?
Number one, have big dreams, have big goals, have scary goals, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's no honor in aiming small. You know what I'm saying? Aim big, dude. Have massive goals. Number two, check your ego at the door, man. It's not going to go smooth at all in the beginning. It's going to be rocky as hell, and you're going to want to quit, right? And then number three, man, is just pick up the shovel. Mm-hmm. Pick up the shovel, and you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to master something. There's a lot of people that are just guys. Who's a dude? You know what I'm saying, right? And then lastly is like, he who is most prepared is going to win, right? He who puts the most time into his craft, whether you see the light at the end of the tunnel or not, man, if you can keep digging and keep driving through it, like, good stuff happens in the end. But I can't tell you how long it's going to take. I can only tell you that eventually you'll get there if you're willing to put the work in.
No stone left unturned.
No stone unturned, man.
Don't count the price. If you're going to pay the cost, no matter what it takes, why are you counting the price? Guys, that's a wrap. That's House Talk with my boy B Folk D1. You already know. Man, I'm so excited to have this episode. I really feel like the inspiration, motivation, the journey that you had, this is gonna, I got chills a couple different times talking about it. So appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming on, making time on this Christmas break to come see me in between all the craziness you got going on and in between Mercer and Toledo, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, love you, man. And like I said, dude, it's a whirlwind right now, but fired up to get here and share a story, man. So love what you got going on here, man. I think it's awesome.
Let's go.